Okay, I want to show you something here. Now, every time you quote to a free will believer, I call them free will worshipers because they worship free will. That's another video. Every time you quote the Bible to them that God creates evil, Isaiah 45:7, 100% of the time, they will come back at you and say, well, it's not evil, it's calamity, as if that somehow changes something. Now, modern translations, when it comes to God creating or causing the evil, they will translate it as calamity or disaster. Now, they do that as to soften the blow for the people reading it, so that they won't think that God is guilty of evil or that God is evil. That's why they do that. They want to sell Bibles. I can understand why they do that. However, the Hebrew word that is in there, ra, means evil. Whether you call it calamity or chocolate cake, it doesn't matter. The Hebrew word still means evil, and it means evil to this very day. Now, I went on the internet and I took transcripts of Benjamin Netanyahu and President Isaac Herzog doing speeches about Hamas. And they used the exact same word that the Bible uses in Hebrew. Now, it's right here. It's right here. I'll try to right here. I can't. My mouse. I can't see it. It's right here. That's Ra. It's actually the Ra, or Hara. Same exact Hebrew in the Bible. Exactly. And here's the translation. You say good is evil, and evil, you say good is good and evil is evil. And the good must eradicate the evil. Here it is again in the Hebrew. It's right here. It's 3 times in the sentence, and it's translated evil. Talking about Hamas and all its allies. Excuse me. So, these people are lying. And here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another quote from Benjamin Yahoo, November 21st, 2004. Everything is upside down. Good becomes evil. Evil becomes good. It's translated evil. Even in our modern language, it's still evil. And here's 3 examples. There's 3 of them. Between good and evil. Between doing good and doing evil. Here's what's going on. People today want the easy Jesus. They want the nice little God that doesn't offend anybody. God's got this great good character. Well, he couldn't possibly create evil. They all say the same thing. Yet here it is. Modern Hebrew speaking people using the exact same language, the exact same word to mean evil. So does Netanyahu and these Hebrew speaking people not read some book on hermeneutics? Or a lexicon? I don't think so. You clearly see how they're using the word. Should you translate it? The calamity is evil and the good must eradicate the calamity? It would still mean the same thing. Well, and they say, well, it's calamity means like a hurricane. Well, did Netanyahu use the word ra in Hebrew and he meant a hurricane? I don't think so. Look, I can see where they're coming from. God creates evil. It's evil. It's moral evil that God creates. Assyria coming down and blockading the city and starving people to death. And there's all kinds of examples. Cyrus goes to Babylon. He causes the war there, the killing of the children, and I mean this all that evil, wicked stuff. But it's evil. Now I can understand where you're coming from. God creates the evil, but he's not evil. Because why? Because there's no one above God to judge him for it. So he tells the man not to do the evil because he's the judge. And then he does the evil, and there's no one above him to judge him for it. It's how he conducts his creation. That's just the fact of the way it is. Whether it sounds good to you or whether it feels good to you or not. It's just the way it is. But I understand where you're coming from. That does not feel good. To think that God can do what you can't do. Well, but he's God. So he can do what you can't do. And he will judge you for that which he does. Because there's no one above him to judge him. That's just the fact. It's the cold, hard truth fact. People can sugarcoat it all they want. But the fact remains, God said he creates evil, ra, and it means evil.